Good evening, everybody. We still got on in time by 11, so not late and not gay. How is everybody doing tonight? Ah. Oh, is it too late to call Sean late? It's too early. Guys, I did say 10:30. Had to change it up. Show business. You know how it goes. By Franz is first. It's again very important, but null second amendment. Compelling. Still not first. So hello, hey Jim, Ginger, Toothless, J Rock, Eric, Justin, Adam. How are you guys all doing tonight? Sean's looking for more White Claw. No, but we got not White Claw tonight, but we do have since it is not a school night, we can drink and have some fun. What the business? Oh, we'll get to the business. We'll get to the business last. Oh, almost. You're not last yet, so. All right. Well, since we're getting started and it is Friday night, I guess I'll just. Oh. All right. Well, how was court today? Went actually very well. Didn't turn out the way we anticipated, but we're happy with the result. So I guess it works. What you drinking tonight? We are drinking Seven Brothers Distilling, drinking some wheat whiskey. I guess we'll just get things going now. Right me out with a little fun. Woo. That's like jumping in feet first. You have 4 fingers of Elmer T. Oh, you're having a nice night there, Jim. Dr. Mimosa's grounds. Yeah. Yep. Stupid little kangaroo says I'm drinking Manischewitz. No. Oof. Manischewitz is a little rough. I don't know if I could do that. It's been a little while. Sneed says I'm drifting off to sleep. Well, hey, thanks for at least poking your head in. Have a nice night. No, yes. No, Mom, I'm talking to my internet friends. Leave me alone. Jeez, Mom. Necromancer says White Claw time. Not White Claw time. Just, a little harder tonight. We might do White Claws tomorrow night. Eric V says, what's a great first pew pew? I mean, it depends. I think, like, for a little kid, I mean, the first probably really good gun, like a BB gun. And since I'd say the technology's a little better, you can probably get away with getting, like, an airsoft gun, something that's single shot. They learn to handle. They learn how. I mean, that's how I started. I still have it. Still have my Red Ryder. Well, it's not a Red Ryder, but it's a Daisy model 18. Oh God, what model is it? It's a Model 94. So it's a lever action, and it looks like one of those, and it's pretty neat. It's really fun. I had one of those, and then a couple years later, I got a Gamo air rifle, which you can really do damage with and kill things with. I still actually have that too. I have both of them. The Gamo's neat because you can kill rabbits with it if you do it right. But for an adult, I mean, that's actually not bad either. Or for an adult, just getting an airsoft gun and practicing how to shoot the fundamentals. If you don't have access to a range all the time, if you do have a range, I mean, start out with a 22. Or if you feel like you can, a 9mm is not a bad start either. So, Ninja Bread Man says, Sean Sexual Tyrannosaurus. Oh, last name is Martin, Martin. So, Isaac Baruch's wholesome gab saying an M240 for 8-year-olds and above. Well, if you have multiple 8-year-olds, because that way it's a crew served weapon, they learn teamwork. And yes, it's far more stable on a tripod or bipod, and they learn to work together. So, yes, meteor, yes, an unidentified object was shot down flying near Alaska, which I'm glad we finally killed it right away and didn't let it get halfway across the country and let the Chinese punk card us. So, good job. Good job, US government. Hunch the Dirty Roofer for $5. Thanks for the super chat. Saying, so Nick's put a hold on me. I had that happen myself more than once. Won't be able to pick up the new toy till Thursday. Can I get a drink and a hearty FU feds in commiseration? Oh, of course. Just going to add this to the drinks. We're not going to do a full shot right now, but, we're in past 5 minutes. Fuck you, federales. So, there we go. Watcher, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. Okay, well, I think we got enough people in here. I think we'll get started. So, if you guys weren't aware, out in East Palestine, Ohio, and that's over by Youngstown, there has been a train derailment. And that wasn't a big deal in necessarily. The problem was the train was carrying something that, if you guys weren't aware, was not very nice. And we'll show you here. This is the smoke from the train derailment. Not very good. Not very good at all. And that is not doctored. That is what it looked like. So the train derailed and it had tons of toxic chemicals in it. The issue is it's near the state line of Pennsylvania, but the bigger issue is it was burning vinyl chloride, and that would send hydrogen chloride and the toxic gas phosgene. And if you weren't aware what phosgene is, that was a gas that was developed and then used in World War I as a chemical weapon to very, very good effect. That's one of the no-nos. Like using that can be considered a war crime. So you're not allowed to use phosgene, but it can be made. It is a chemical. And the issue is this stuff is near the headwaters of where the Ohio River runs through Ohio and begins its run down to the Mississippi. So this is kind of a big deal if it leaks into everywhere. They had to intentionally detonate one of the cars that it was not fully burned yet, and that was the smoke rising from it. So yes, all this burning vinyl chloride and vapors were sent all over the area, killed a lot of things. People had to evacuate the town. Livestock is dead. Now, apparently, they're claiming it's safe to go back. Not really sure how true that is, but at least I don't have to trust the government on this one. So, Hagbao Kevin says, yes, phosgene's the new mustard gas this year. It's so hot. So there were issues with the derailment. As part of the derailment, a officer, or I'm sorry, as part of the derailment, there was a press conference. The governor came out, and it was a big freaking deal because it's a huge deal, and it's been a big deal here in Ohio. Well, the governor was holding a press conference, and you're at a press conference, reporters show up, right? I mean, sounds logical to me, I guess. Oh, hold on, Isaac. Isaac Baruch's wholesome, the most wholesome of the Gabagool art for $5. Thank you, by the way. I got to rest up and work tomorrow, but Sean, you are the most base legal tuber. Much love. Awaiting the Rumble excuse. Watch people die stream. The Rumble excuse. Watch people die stream. Okay. A little confused the last part there, but thank you for the rest of it. Yes. Watcher. Yes. Polyvinyl nasty shit. Yes. Very, very nasty. So Derailed because we didn't pay enough taxes? I don't think so. I mean, just like everything else, airplanes sometimes do crash, cars crash, trains. Trains run millions and millions and millions of miles each year all over America. Sometimes they're going to derail. And a lot of times they're usually hauling crap that doesn't matter, like they're hauling cars or they're hauling coal. Town I grew up in, train the train derailed and spilled a bunch of coal. No big deal. Sometimes when it derails, it's carrying all kinds of nasty shit that'll kill you. Uh, it just depends. Um, so just it's I don't know. Oh, Jim is saying I think he meant the Rumble exclusive. Ah, maybe. Okay. So, oh, real quick, the amateur iconoclast for $5. Thank you. It's talking about F1. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this one. I would like to apologize for my harmful comment when I said F1 was a glorified parade. I have come to realize that that was very insulting to parades. So, okay, and Watcher here saying, all the tax in the world won't help you if the company doesn't put the proper money into maintenance. Yes, and that's the thing. There's a lot of upkeep involved in a railroad. Um, they have to basically. It's kind of like when you're in your neighbor. If you have like a turnpike or some major road going through your state, and it seems like they're always working on it from one end to the other. That's because it gets used and abused, and train tracks get wore out quite a bit. It doesn't take. There is a whole process to it where they've got to inspect it, pull ties, put new ties in, sometimes new rails. Um, so, and Brad Merriman says, yeah, rail cars do break sometimes. Yes. And sometimes just shit happens. So I'm Toothless is saying in Canada a while back, a train vaporized an entire town. Oof. Oof. E-Dub said, and Eliza Blue burned all the gold that spilled. Jesus. Um, Bill Leslie says when burned PVC meets water, it creates hydrochloric acid. I did not know that. And if you are a science person, oof. Yes. Yes. Um, so either way, we don't know what caused the derailment. But the governor did have a press conference. And at that press conference was shocking a reporter. And there were reporters all around the governor. And then there was a reporter way in the back. And this is in the back of a high school gym. And that reporter was Evan Lambert. He is a reporter for NewsNation. They are a smaller independent news organization. They're on Twitter covering a lot of things. And yeah, we'll kind of start with there what happens because this was caught on the body cam of the illustrious Ohio State Highway Patrol. They protect and serve the shit out of things coming up. So we'll get to that though. We'll get to that. So here we go, guys. Okay, here we go. A good portion of this is going to be quiet because it takes a while for the body cam to turn on. Although for some reason it takes longer than 30 seconds and I'm really confused. So we can see right here, here's the press conference going on. The governor's talking up here somewhere and you can't see him because Governor Mike DeWine's a little troll. He's like this tall, so you can't see him anyway. But all the news is right here. And they're in a big basketball court. And this is from one of the troopers. And he is there's a guy in it. Well, the guy in the camouflage, pay attention to him. He's a real hero. So you notice we're walking through the crowd. Oh wow, okay. It looks like that guy in the camouflage is doing something, but he's like way far in the back. What the hell's going on? What is going on? I mean, surely he can't be doing something bad. I mean, there's nobody in between. That's a half a basketball court away. Oh, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh well. So you can see the guy in the camouflage uniform. He's in the National Guard. I'll give you a hint there. He's not very happy. He's sad about something. And then there's a sergeant here, so you know things are getting serious. We still don't have any sound yet. And this is Evan Lambert here in the gray shirt, and that's his camera guy, and he's broadcasting about the press conference and reporting on it. And here we go. The sound should click on right about the second. Now look at him doing his job. Now, at this point, they claim he was being too loud. The reporter was being too loud. Now, was he being loud, or is all of the people who are obviously yelling, including this guy in camouflage and the police who are pointing and shouting, look, everybody in the crowd's now looking because somebody's created a scene and it's not the reporter, not the guy doing his job. Nobody noticed him before. We need to rewind that part because this is very critical here. Watch the guy in the uniform, push him back. So scary. Look at that fucking hero. I mean, the audio's coming, guys. The audio's coming. The audio's coming. Just take your titties and ice them down. The audio's coming. Okay, children, the audio's coming. I didn't screw with the audio.
Yes, you want me to file charges on you right now? I am allowed to be here. Did you not see that man? You were told to shut it down. You continued on. Go.
Now.
Go. Now.
Or you can go to jail. Sir. You want to go to jail for criminal trespassing?
So now we're being told he's too loud. Now we've been told he's too loud. But did you guys see that bravery from that National Guard member who shoved him? I mean, that's the kind of stuff. I mean, some all gave some gave all. I mean, heroes like that willing to shove a reporter out of the way. I mean, thank God that man's there on that wall while I sleep in bed at night. I mean, that kind of bravery. No wonder. No, I mean, oof. Thank him for his cervix. I agree. I think Ralph is saying he has no authority. He's the National Guard. He does have authority because he's working under state power. But thanking him for his cervix. Oh, I mean, I don't know why that guy's. We could have let him loose in Afghanistan when the Taliban were trying to take over the Kabul airport. We could have just sent him out there and he could just start punching people in the chest with his finger. I'm sure he could have racked up a ton of dead bodies from the Taliban for that. I mean, think about it. That's a hero, fucking hero right there. Just, beautiful. But then we see the cops. Well, you got to leave. You got to leave. Why? You're being loud. He wasn't being loud till now. Well, now we're going to arrest you because you're trespassing. Who said he was trespassing? Who kicked him out? He's a cop. Who kicked him out? Did someone from the school kick him out? No. Cry pants from the the green buff. Yes, the green buffet. Yes, the green buffet came in and said, "You have to weave. You'll be too loud." Oh. And the cop said, "You'll be too loud." When you want to arrest someone, guys, when you want to arrest someone and you don't have a warrant, you have to have probable cause they commit a crime. What has he done so far? He was a reporter reporting. That's not a crime the last time I checked. And the Highway Patrol prides himself on having highly trained people. They pride themselves on having highly trained officers. And then that officer who is the Major General of the Ohio National Guard, swears to protect and defend the Constitution. I guess he never read it. Because it's kind of a big deal. I mean, you could swear to protect and defend it, but if you don't understand it, I mean, what good are you? But it's a bigger issue because now he's been escorted away. Now the cops are here.
You want to go to jail for criminal trespassing? Do you understand?
You know how quickly our lawyers will get me out?
I don't care.
Sorry, can we
I don't.
And yes, you can see it's from the sheriff's department. I'm kicking you out. Who the fuck are you? It's not your building. He's not being disorderly. You have no right to trespass him, number one. What has he done that's illegal? He isn't being loud. But I'll give this guy credit. Evan Lambert, dude, you got some balls just telling him to fucking do what they got to do. A lot of people would walk away.
Let's talk outside. Go. Let's talk outside.
Out the doors. Out the doors. By other media right here. I'm going to listen.
I don't care. You're going to walk out the door.
I'm going to listen.
You're going to walk
Do
out
not
the door.
touch me.
Come on out, sir. You're going to walk out the door, or you're going to jail.
Do not touch me.
Sir, can we talk outside,
I
please?
am trying to
Talk
listen.
outside, please.
And he escalated with me. I am doing my job. This is covered by the First Amendment.
Excuse me, sir. I'm the building supervisor here. Please leave.
There you have it.
I'm the building supervisor here. Please leave. We don't take kindly to no reporters out here in East Liverpool, Ohio, especially none of them colored folk. Good job, Mr. Building Supervisor. More bravery. He had a fire department shirt on, so I mean, kind of bravery is gonna cut your car open while it's burning, I guess. I don't know. Just heroes all abound. Free meals at Applebee's for everybody.
You're going to stand outside, or you're going to jail.
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on. You're under arrest.
Wait, they told him get outside. Okay. And they start dragging him out. Well, is he under arrest at that point? No, they haven't told him that. They're just forcing him out. And then they arrest him. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, sir.
Oh my God! You guys, this is bad. Stop!
I am on the ground. What are you
Stop resisting! Stop this! Oh my God! Stop! You have to get this.
Oh! I forgot about this part. Yes. Stop resisting. There are three of us on top of you. Get on the ground. I am on the ground. Oh.
Oh my God! You guys, this is bad. Stop!
I am on the ground. What are you
Stop resisting! Stop!
Now, I don't know who this cop is right here. Whoever's doing this, you are as big a piece of shit as everybody else. Look at that right there. Look at that shit. Oh, we can't have the press in here to cover the press doing their thing. Oh, no, Mr. Reporter, man, you can't be here. What, you think the guy's got a secret gun in his camera? Come on now. Yes, do not film this. Yes, I love that too. Yes. Don't film this. Don't film us breaking the law. It's like, bitch, fuck do you really? The fuck do you cocksuckers think you are? The fuck all of you. And I hope, you know what, right now, we're going to pause this because we're going to call somebody out here. Because we're going to talk about this. Major General Harris, the guy who started all this. You dickless little faggot. I hope you hear this. I hope you hear about me. You are a fucking coward. You are a piece of shit motherfucker. Look at you, your smug little face. Well, I'm going to get my government pension. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking coward-ass motherfucker. Yeah, like, oh, wow, he flies helicopters. Ooh. Good for him. Apparently he wasn't retarded enough to hit a fucking tree. Got through everything, and then he became the it's all impressive assignments. He flew an attack helicopter. Ooh. And the Legion of Merit flying helicopters. I'm sure it was stressful pumping 30 millimeter cannon rounds into a bunch of Taliban in the middle of the night when they couldn't see you. Just, I'm actually, he probably didn't do that. He probably walked around with like this, poke, 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 like a true hero. Probably poked his way across Kosovo. The global war on terror. I'm sure he defended America bravely and nobly. Just poking his way. So fucking disgusting. You are a Ohioan too. You breathe the same air. You walk on the same land as me. Fucking A, bro. Fucking A. But that's who it was. It wasn't just some rum-dum in the National Guard. It's the head of the National Guard. And why is that important? Well, the body cam has caused an issue. Because he made a statement to the police upon the arrest. And there are some problems. Well, one of the big ones is, I'll just let you read. He's under scrutiny over the altercation with the reporter. Yes. Oh. D. Dilo, why did he call out that reporter? I don't know, because why it started, because he is an asshole. I'm sure that Major General Harris is a complete dickhead to deal with. I'm sure having him being your commanding officer is not pleasant. I'm sure he's just a jack-off in general. Well, he is a general who's a jack-off, but I'm sure that's just naturally how he is. So that's probably why. He's just like the cops. You don't tell him what to do, because he's Major General. If you don't do what he says, you offend him. Sugi says, ma'am. Oh. Diamonds, yes, he poked his way across Kosovo. Yes. Sorry, just catch. Salty Ball says General Jackoff. Yes. Toto Vader says NewsNation is right wing. Maybe that's why. He had no idea. I don't think he had any idea who that guy was from. He just didn't like this guy not listening to him. Glitter is forever. We'll get to that statement, because that's very critical. But getting to the military times here, there was the Major General, the Ohio's Adjutant General, which that's the actual term for the head of the National Guard, wherever you live, is the Adjutant General. He claimed he put his hands up to avoid the reporter bumping into him. I don't think you guys see that. I don't see that at all. I see an angry little bitch, not like being told what somebody ignoring him. Oh, so it sounds like somebody fibbed. And I did ROTC in college for like a semester. There's, the integrity and, having honor and, not lying and shit like that. So I don't know though. So, in a statement, Harris told the reporters he reflexively raised his hands to Lambert's chest. Okay. Yeah, great. He's a much larger person than I am, said the brave general. At that point, I was convinced he was prepared to do harm to me. It's so scary being in the National Guard and talking to reporters. It's just, Y'all don't know what it's like. It's just so dangerous. Just so scary. I instinctively put my hands on his chest to keep him from bumping into me, which I felt was inevitable. If I had not protected myself. Oh no. This was scarier. Kandahar? No. Fighting the Taliban? No, this was the real threat. I bet he retires on fucking disability after this. 100% PTSD from the VA. I immediately removed my hands with their space between us. We were in contact for less than a second. Oh, God, General, I don't know how you got out of it. Thank God. Thank God you're here to protect me. Yes, Harble Warble. He's coming right for me. Oh, whoa. Yes, Major General Bitch made. Yes. So I mean that's great. I mean, having a head of your, a guy who is a military officer who flat out fucking lied and not only did that, but did to a reporter and just won't admit like, wow, I just didn't like the fact nobody tells me what to do. I told somebody to do something and they didn't listen to me. Well, that happens when you're not under his orders. Patricia Bradshaw says, doesn't he know it was recorded? I don't know. That kind of tells me he has a habit of saying whatever he needs to say. I'm sure all those counseling forms he's ever filled out are 100% honest. And yes, General, I hope you hear all of this. I'd love for you to respond. I'm sure you will, hero. So that is a problem, though. He's, certainly would have made a statement, and has should this go to trial somewhere, he's certainly going to be involved as a witness. Um, but yes, Evan Lambert was charged with resisting arrest and trespassing. He has since been released. But let's see. Actually, read through the rest of this article real quick. And here's the problem. Governor DeWine is aware of the body cam video. While the video does not show the complete interaction between Lambert and Harris, the video is consistent both of Lambert's and Harris' statements regarding the incident. Once again, and for those of us here in Ohio, fuck you, Governor DeWine. Anyway, so there he is. Just more bravery. More bravery. But the issue here, and this is the big one here, the governor actually has since come out once he learned about it and said he was shocked when he learned the reporter got arrested. Because he does press conferences. He's been our governor. He's been the attorney general. He's been a senator. And he's been a member of the House of Representatives. He's a career politician, so he's dealt with the press forever. And he understands reporters do live or tape reporting during press conferences. And yes, when the governor says he had a right to be there doing what he was doing and he should have been allowed to report, and the governor even says, I had no idea what was going on back there. If they were hampered in any way from reporting, that certainly is wrong, and it's not anything that I approve of. Governor, here's something you can do right now. Something you can do right now. Takes no effort from you. Pardon him right this second. Don't even let the court cases drag out. I pardon this man completely and wholly for any actions he commit. Right now, he's pardoned. Bam, done. Pardon the man. Pardon him. Completely. You can do that right now. And then I would demand your adjutant general resign. But Tadano Hirohito, yeah, he could pardon him later if something happens, but no, right now the governor can pardon you ahead of time. The governor has the right to pardon him. So, his pardon power is just like the pardon power of the president. It's a plenary power. It has no limit. So he could do it right now. Yes, could Governor DeWine resign? God, that would be nice. Oh, yes. So, um, Charles Watt says, the general's in emotional turmoil because he's worried about the Chinese spy balloons. Yeah. And Necromancer's like, you weren't there, man. Yes. Yes, General. I wasn't there when the Kandahar Starbucks ran out of lattes. I understand that was probably a rough time. Janina says, did they charge him with anything significant or just trespassing and just being a reporter? Well, he's charged with criminal trespassing. In Ohio, you can face up to 30 days in jail and a $250 fine on it. It's a fourth-degree misdemeanor, and he's charged with resisting arrest. He can face up to 90 days in jail and a $750 fine. So, I mean, would any of that ever happen? Should he be convicted of these? No. But I mean, and I'm not saying this to come at you. That's significant. Anything that's got jail time attached to it's significant. I I walk into jails and meet people all the time. If I was there against my will, I wouldn't want to spend 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days, let alone 5 minutes in jail. So, I mean, any forced incarceration, I would argue is pretty significant. Regardless of what it is. So, um, Critical says, couldn't he order the prosecutors to drop any case? He's the governor. No, not here in Ohio. Because generally speaking, the prosecution's done by local officials. So there's going to be a special prosecutor appointed because um, just the political nature of this. They're going to have an outside party from outside the area come in and be a prosecutor, but it's still going to be a prosecutor. So in Ohio, for example, there's 88 counties. Each county has a county prosecutor. And then there's all kinds of towns and municipalities that have their own prosecutors. Those prosecutors they don't take orders from the governor. In many cases, county prosecutors, they're elected officials who they can operate independently. The governor has no control over them, not like in Florida. And then, for example, if a city hires you to be their prosecutor or solicitor, as it's called a lot of times here in Ohio, um, the governor has no authority over you. So, yeah. So June, yeah, I think he's too much of a pussy to pardon him, but he should pardon him. We should get back to the rest of this because it does go from here a little bit. I'm sorry, guys, we got a little derailed, but yes, just more of this bravery going on. We need to make sure nobody else not authorized, Can't have none of them reporters coming in here asking questions and whatnot. You know, this ain't no Soviet situation here. We can't have none of that. So no reporters allowed. I don't know who's authorized, really. Oh, I don't know whose this is, but you're gonna fuck around with that phone, ain't you, officer? Oh yeah, I didn't mean to snoop, but I just need to know whose it was, so I snooped in the phone. Fucking cocksucker. You know, I love how you're gonna say, "Hey, bro, I'm on. Be careful what you say. I'm on. I'm on." Why? Are you worried he's gonna say something? She's got a camera off. So you better stop her. She might hurt that general's feelings and give him a flashback again. I mean, I can't believe he's just letting the press in. What kind of fucking world is this? What kind of world is this? I believe that's it from here. Oh, there's some discussion when the cops get back. So, yes, he gets here and then yes, the transparency of silence. Why can't we hear this part? What's going on? Why can't I hear it? Why aren't we entitled to hear it? Because his body cam's now not recording sound, or they've taken the sound away. We don't know. Once again, just bravery abounding. Oh shit. Oh shit. No video. God damn you guys. Sorry. All right, we'll get back to here. Sorry.
Folks coming in? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna keep people out. He keeps keeping people out. Then he's here. Nothing happens for in this part here.
Oh, who's this is?
Yeah. Press on live right now on TikTok as covering the governor.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I fucked up. I suppressed the video. Yes. Oh, boomer. Oh God. Sometimes I hope this keeps going. Fuck me. Fuck me running. Fuck me running. Look at my chat. I've got the video in full screen. I can't see. God damn it. I didn't do well. I didn't expand out pop out live chat. Fuck. Oh, all right. Well, let's get back to this.
Appreciate it.
Oh God, in Discord. Chick, you're not on. You're not on.
Oh, who's this is?
Recording.
Am I?
I'm on.
Oh, okay. No worries. I'm going to capture.
Why do you have to say, "Hey, bro, I'm on"? I'm on. Why don't you presume your camera's always on? What were you worried he's going to say something? I mean, what's the deal there?
Okay.
We got to get to where's the. We're going to skip ahead a little bit here. Because after a while, where'd the sound go? Why aren't we allowed to hear this? Certainly his camera didn't break. The odds of that are very slim. So they've taken the sound away as he's just wandering around. And then what do we know? A little bit later, he runs into a law enforcement official. Who's this guy? What's going on? What are they talking about? What's up? Who are they talking about? What was going on? He was involved in some of this earlier. What happened? We don't know. Did this guy see it? Is he a witness? Could he be, what's he saying? I couldn't hear. I can hear. I don't know. We don't know anything about what's being said here. Then we have the cops come back in, and it's all quiet still. He's talking to the cops, and what's going on? Do we know if this is relevant or not? Why can't we hear it?
Rudeness or disrespect or anything. We've been waiting for, we were up there, we had a live shot scheduled to record at 5:15. That's locked in stone. So, coincidence of all coincidence, the governor literally walks out at 5:15. It's the worst possible timing in the world, okay? But there's nothing that we can do about that. He's committed to doing his live shot. He's got people talking to him. He doesn't know whether he needs to talk about.
Okay, but let me stop you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, please, but
Let me stop you.
I'm
The reason why, I understand that. The reason why he is where he is, he was told to leave. He refused to leave.
But you had no right to tell him to leave because he wasn't doing anything wrong. That's the problem. Let me tell you something. He did nothing wrong. He had no right to leave. You had no right to eject him.
Then the building superintendent comes over and says, I don't want you here.
Okay.
He still refused to leave.
I didn't.
So now he's arrested.
I didn't witness any.
That's his own fault. He's arrested. All he had to do was pipe up.
I didn't.
And he just kept on arguing.
All I'm telling you is from the television.
Yes, because you were wrong. Somebody knew what he was allowed to do. You are the other guy. Evan Lambert's the guy who understands the Constitution. You are obviously playing the role of the guy who doesn't know fuck all. Well, actually, you, the troopers, and the major general. So it's like the ensemble cast of the dumb fuck brigade.
Standpoint of
I understand what you're.
I mean, imagine these two fucks. Are they going to go save your kids in the shootout if there's a school shooting? I doubt it. I mean, they ain't hassling reporters. We done good today.
Trying to do.
It's
I understand
television.
you guys have
It's
jobs to
just-
do,
Yeah.
but when he's told to leave
I understand.
by law enforcement,
I can't speak to that.
that's an
But
issue.
what I thought I might just be able to give you some insight on
I understand.
from my.
No, I understand you guys have a job to do. I get it.
It's just.
I get it. But when you're told to step
I
out and
understand.
it even gets to the point where the building superintendent's coming over and saying, you need to leave.
I understand. So.
that's why
you
I-
tell me where he is, please.
He'll end up at the Columbia County Jail.
Columbiana County Jail.
Yes.
Okay. And, sir, what's your name?
Sure, Brian McLaughlin.
Sheriff of the block. Thank you. I'm
Sheriff.
Preston Swigert. I'm on camera. Thank you,
Please.
Sheriff.
Top tier bravery, the sheriff himself, the bravest of the brave. Just like Marshal Ney for Napoleon. Le bravest of ces braves, the bravest of the brave. Just brave. Just brave. Oh, bravery everywhere. Salty Ball said, I sent you an example of how government is evil. The government is truly evil a lot. I'll have to talk. I'll talk to you about that offline. That's interesting. That is interesting. Yes, because the janitor said so. Yes. Lori Hendricks says, bet there's poop on the walls there. There probably is. There probably is. Google's Evil said stream on Rumble. I ran out of time tonight. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get back into it. I got the Rumble thing all figured out. They helped me fix whatever issue I was having, and then I didn't have time tonight. I will get back to streaming on Rumble. It's so brave of not putting up the video. Horrible Warble says he should have respected authority. Yeah. Yeah. Pacific Highlander says, I guess tough shit to the people relying on those guys reporting in an emergency. Yes. Pike says a pre-fight. Yes. It's only been one day and I was working all day. So I'll work on that after we're done here. Oh. We'll work on that. Porcelain Thunder says vote against him in the next election. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. That is, yeah. Yeah. So now, what are the issues here for this guy? Well, was there probable cause to arrest him? Because to be arrested, there needs to be a warrant or a probable cause. So in Ohio, is criminal trespass an arrestable offense? 100%. It is. It is an arrestable offense. It is a jailable offense. And then even if you go to city of Lago Vista v. Atwater, the Supreme Court said even if it's not a jailable offense, you can certainly be arrested for it regardless. So he was arrested. But was he told to leave? Okay, well, initially, he was not doing anything wrong, and the general caused the ruckus. And then out of nowhere, that guy who says he's the building superintendent, is he actually the building superintendent, number one, told him he needs to leave. Well, why did he tell him he needed to leave? Because there was a disturbance? Well, the disturbance was created by another party. So is that really a proper ejection? No, and it shouldn't have even gotten to that point, because the police should have gotten up to the general and said, leave him alone. You go your way. You're filming a thing here. Everybody's going and minding their own business. But the police didn't do that. So, Tenano says, isn't the press conference a public forum? Yes, but you can still be ejected from public property. You don't have an unlimited right to be in a public building. So if you guys ever watch the First Amendment at Auditors, you don't have an unlimited right. So, for example, I can walk into my city hall. I have the right to walk in there. But if I run around screaming, the song High Hopes at the top of my lungs, they're probably going to tell me to leave pretty quickly, because I don't have the right to disturb other people and disturb other things that are going on. Much the same way I don't have the right to set up a tent in the middle of the city hall, even though I pay my taxes. You have the right to be on city property, but it's not an unlimited right. Just like any of your rights, there can be restrictions placed upon them. Time, place, and manner. Now, for example, if this guy was in the back of the press conference sitting there playing with an air horn or jerking around and playing basketball, they could tell him, get out. This is a press conference. But it's clear he was a reporter doing something, and this general, for whatever reason, he heard him, but nobody else was really paying attention. So everybody else should have just left it alone, but nobody did. Why? Well, because nobody likes their authority getting scuffed. Shit Puppet says, who has the right to tell you to leave public property? Well, you can be trespassed from public property. No, do I think that should ever be permanent? No. But for example, if I walk into the mayor's office, I can't just walk into his office. There is a limit to where I can go and what I can do. Just like if I tried to walk into the police station. Can I walk into the lobby of the police station? Sure. Should I be able to walk into their Sally Port and walk through their, they do have a restricted area. I can't just do that. Just like at the fire station. You can walk in the front door of the fire station, but Would you dare wander through the, where all the trucks are parked? No, that's not, even though it's public property, you can't just do that. Much the same way, like the White House, for example. You could stand in front of the White House, you can't hop the fence. Well, it's public property. Well, there are some limits to that public property. Sheriff Flex says, can you F the mayor's wife? Yeah. Paul Harley says Troons have the tenting rights in state capitals, but not red hat wearing people. Hard to disagree with that. Very fair assessment. Critical says, but do they have a right to remove you without cause? And that's where it becomes an issue. Because as a public official, you have to abide by constitutional rights. So he's a building manager. Okay, well, the school is a governmental entity. He could open himself up to some 1983 action because he is not allowed to abuse your constitutional rights. Now, just like everybody else, police can violate your rights and you can file 1983 action against them. You can file 1983 actions against anybody in the government who violates your civil rights on the color of law. So a meter reader, a housing inspector, the mayor, city council members, or somebody who works in a building, a teacher could violate your rights. This guy, he violated this guy's First Amendment right to report. Because he said, I don't care what you're doing, just get out. And he was on camera. Why? Because he didn't come in there until things were getting a little ridiculous. Did he have a valid reason to do it? No. Now, he should be named in the Section 1983 lawsuit, along with the troopers, along with the sheriff's deputies, the sheriff, and the major general. Because the general is acting under state orders. He's acting as the state adjutant general. He's not acting as a member of the United States Army. He's acting as the Ohio National Guard. So therefore, he's fair game too. I don't know exactly how that would work, and I'm actually going to get in touch with the civil rights lawyer, John Bryan. I'm kind of curious to know his take on that, how that would play out, because that one's a little weird. I'd like to say he should be, but there might be something I'm not aware of in some sort of a federal law that gives him the ability to skate out of that, but maybe, I don't know. But they all have that issue because he's interfering with his First Amendment right to broadcast. Now, the officers, they violate his Fourth Amendment right of unlawful search and seizure by being arrested. And an arrest is a seizure. So they've got that problem. The sheriff's got that problem because he was there ordering his people to arrest him. And then the troopers, they were violating his First Amendment right. But the deputies who arrested him, they're on the hook for that, and I hope they are going to get sued. Now, the second charge that he's facing, resisting arrest, up to 90 days in jail and a $750 fine. If he were to be convicted, would he ever face 90 days in jail? No. Would he ever get a $750 fine? I doubt that would happen. This is who we are, says the head janitor has unlimited power. Yes. Toto Vader says, can you yell theater in a crowded fire station? I don't know. I don't know if you can or not. Jim says, stop ignoring my comments. Hold on here. Where are... Jim says every single person who interfered with his rights was a government official and the building supervisor. Yes, sorry, you said that, and we kind of just crossed paths there. Yes, they all need to be named. They wouldn't be named in a separate lawsuit. They'd all be named together because they all did it. They all did it. So, they all did it. Harbor Walter says the color law is a real thing, not just on citizens. Yeah. And police routinely get sued for violating people's rights. They don't have the right to violate your rights on the color of law. Track Elver says take the case for subs and likes. He's already got an attorney, but if he didn't, I would drive the hour, almost 2 hours. I would do that pro bono for the guy. But apparently they've already got a lawyer set up, so they're all fine. But I would go defend this guy for free. I mean, this is complete bullshit what happened to him. Pete Wiener says John Bryan is the man. Yes, he is. Very good attorney. Porcelain Thunder says that guy was likely not the building rep. That would be the governor if he was in the room. The governor outranks the janitor. The governor, that's not the governor's mansion, though. The governor is a guest in that building. So people invited the governor in. He's an invitee. He is not somebody who has the authority to eject people out of that room or out of the building. Because it's just like if the governor comes to your house, does he automatically take over your house? No. You need to remove, you have control over your house still. So, it's the building, the people in charge of that building still have the right to govern their building. It's their property. And as you learn in property law in law school, your rights, when it comes to property, you have rights. And they're a bundle of sticks. I'm not joking when I say this. Your rights are a bundle of sticks. And you can do anything you want with your bundle of sticks. You can dole out each stick one at a time, or you can retain them all. You can do whatever you want with your bundle of sticks. Necromancer says the gym police hate your freedoms. Yes. Ship Puppet says the tyranny of the Jannies. I know. Yes. You know what? You're right. He's a Janny. The Jannies ruin everything. Jim Satala says it was an unlawful arrest, so the resisting arrest charge goes away. That's going to be a bit of an issue there. Now, logically, that should be the case, but there is, for example, in Ohio, if the police try to stop you in your car, and let's say they stop you because they think you didn't turn your turn signal on soon enough before you made a turn. That's an offense they can stop you for, not signaling properly. But let's say reviewing the dash cam footage turns out you did signal properly, but instead of stopping, you ran. You are still guilty of failing to comply with the order and signal of a police officer, even though they had no right to stop you. That becomes an issue, because there isn't necessarily in Ohio clear, do you have the right to resist unlawful arrest? I'm betting the Ohio Supreme Court would say, no, you don't have that right, even though I think you should have the right to resist unlawful arrest. So that's why I'm not trying to throw water on that. I'm just saying the reality of how that would shake out. Porcelain Senator is the governor, is the head of state, including schools. He's not the king. He doesn't own every building he walks into. Jim says, how much you want to bet that one of the cops went and got that guy and told him to tell the guy to leave? Oh, I think so. I definitely think so. I think that happened. Certainly. Or he saw all the cops coming over and they're like, what's going on? Well, I want you to go. Yeah, something happened. Kyle Wood says, where did you get the wall art and that lamp in the corner? Okay, so the wall art, I guess we'll do this again. That is from FROME.co. That is, they take movies and they squish them down. So it's kind of like the whole movie's in a compressed format. And that one is Hunt for Red October. And then this guy is Heat. And Heat is it's not a gay movie. It's not a gay porn. It's Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in it. Tom Sizemore, all the cool stuff. And then those things above it are just foam panels for sound absorption. And I just glued them to some cardboard and taped them to the wall. So the lamp. I don't remember where the hell I got that lamp. That lamp has followed me around for a couple of years. And because it was super bright, I took some paper and taped it on the inside of the lampshade so it wasn't as bright. Metal Matt says, I usually stick my sticks in my ass. Well, I don't want your property rights. Critical says, how dare you slur my property rights? Necromancer says, I'll throw my bundle of sticks off a roof. Holy shit. Whew. Very, very, very halal. That's a very halal way to handle your property rights. The red coming from pickling beets. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Oh. So, yes, Tadano says that Janney's ruined the Anon's plot to expose Governor DeWine. Yes. Jim, you're saying that's fleeing and eluding a traffic stop that's on video, actually showing him not resisting arrest. I agree, but here's what's going to happen. Here's what the officers do, and I've seen this a million times when it comes to resisting arrest. They're going to say he tensed up, and he pulled away from me. Well, define pulling away, and they're going to say, well, I tried to cuff him, and his hands moved away from me. And then he was tensing up, and he wasn't consenting to what we were doing. And we asked him to lay flat on the floor, even though there were three of us on top of him, and he didn't get flat on the floor. And he didn't do what we said when we told him to do it, even though we're manhandling him and probably having him in an arm bar and telling him to comply while he probably feels like his shoulder's about to get ripped out of its socket. That's what they're going to do. And how do I know that? Because I've seen that in like 55,000 police reports. That's how the cops always say, he tensed up and wouldn't comply. And tensing up is something somebody does as a pre-fight indicator when they want to resist. They pulled away from me. That's what they're going to... Yes. Demon's Wrath says, in Ohio, if you use deadly force to defend yourself from the police's use of deadly force, how fucked or not fucked are you going to be? Well, here's the deal. You're going to have to survive. Because if you use deadly force against the police, there's not a very good likelihood you're going to survive that encounter. Even if it's you versus cop number one. Okay. And cop number one starts shooting at you for no reason, and you shoot back and kill him. What do you think is going to happen to the rest of the cops? They're not just going to come up to you and say, hey, bro, what's going on? I mean, you're going to very likely get killed. And even if they don't kill you as you're holding the gun, the idea they're not going to probably try to beat you into a coma. I mean, let's be real. That happens. People get screen tested and taken into a jail and beat senseless and all kinds of evil shit. So just think about that. That would be really rough. So, Jana says, was this reporter known to the Leos and to the janitor? This seems somewhat personal. No, he's not a local reporter. The reason why it's personal is because he disrespected their authority. And he didn't do what they wanted when they wanted. And when the National Guard general, that's why. Because they demanded he acquiesce to them immediately. That he knuckle under, that he to bend the knee. And he didn't. He didn't do what they wanted when they wanted it and didn't say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, instead he said, no, I've got fucking rights. Here are my rights. This guy over here, this asshole in camouflage fucked with me. Tell him to get away from me. I'm trying to do my job. I have a constitutional right to be here and I have a constitutional right to do my job. That was his problem. He told them what's up and they didn't like that. That was the problem. JC saying it's not gay porn. Well, yeah. Oh, I forgot Val. Yes. Yes. And then Megan says, "You mean 50 Shades of Grey and Brokeback Mountain?" It's like, Megan, first of all, lower your fucking voice. Second of all, come on, bro. Don't do this to me. I told you and you alone. Harville Warble says heat is the reason you can't find a foul anymore. Yeah, well, there's a lot of reasons why you can't find fouls anymore. Parts kit issues. All the parts kits are gone, and yes, also the resurgence in Rhodesia. I'd like a foul. Think about getting one of those DSA Cold Warrior models. I don't know. So Senor Spielbergo says Heat has the best gunfight ever. Yes, he does. Wrestler Town says, who expects a man to remember where he bought a lamp? Well, you know, I mean, like, depending on kind of lamp, if it was like a lamp with a skull attached to it or something gnarly, I probably remember that, but it's just a regular lamp. The Pie Case says, Helena Hutchins' father was played by Sean Connery in The Hunt for October. He was in the Russian Navy. Yes. Yes. Captain Marco Ramius. Yes. One ping only, Mr. Lee. Alyssa's saying, I'm 35 minutes behind, but I'm out here trying to get monetized. And you're over here dropping gamer word rants I must clip. Hey, what can I say? It's like asking a fish, why do you swim? Or a bird, why do you fly? Or me, why am I an asshole? Just what I do. Just what I do. Yes, Harvard Walbert says very haram answer. Yes. I'm trying to catch up here while you guys are Justin Hancock says you're talking Pinochet air. No, we were talking about Middle Eastern issues with bundles of sticks. MJ said I'm not falling for that, guys. So Google's Evil says, did you watch Joe stream the trial today? No, I was I feel real bad about it. I wasn't able to get there to see Joe. I wish I could have popped my head in for like 5 minutes, but I was running around chicken my head cut off. Just I kind of got into like work and kind of got like in a flow state, which is weird. I was doing that for work instead of something more productive like that a hobby. But yeah, I was just chugging along with work, and then I was talking to the attorney I rent my office from. We were talking about something, a business opportunity in a case. And before I knew it, it was like 5:45. So no, it was already too late. um, so Demon's Wrath says, what if you tense up your peens? Yeah, I don't know. That's gotta be careful about that one. They might get scared. They might think you're gonna do something to them. Demon's Wrath says, my question presumes you survive. Yes. Harbor Wabro says, can you lose 5 stars in real life? I don't know. Sometimes you might be able to. You're asking MJ saying how's court today? Went really well. Wasn't the outcome we planned on, but it's still a really good outcome. So, that's always good. Brandon's saying, yes, Sean, that's exactly what it looks like on video. Okay. I'm not sure which part we're talking about because I've said a lot of crazy shit. This is who we are. Says DSAs have QC issues. Yeah, but there's nowhere else to go. You can do like Arizona response systems. That guy will kind of rework a foul, but I mean, that's a lot of money. So, Paul Harley says, I thought it was an FNC in Heat. Okay. Okay, noob. Yes. When Al Pacino and when they bang it out in downtown, Al Pacino has an FNC. But when they rob the armored car, Tom Sizemore is carrying a foul. And when he executes the bank guards at the end, he's using a foul. So the armored car robbery at the beginning uses a foul. Get with it, noob. Samuel Williams, the founding father, for $4.99. Thank you very much. Says, bro, can I borrow $5.69 till next Tuesday? I'll pay you back, I promise. Sorry, bro, I'm tapped out. Let's see here. JC saying Joe did a good job. I'm glad. Stabby says, you hear about the bribe from the slimeball lawyer with the pocket? Yes, I heard about that yesterday, but this trial's not a fair trial for him. This is disgusting. So he's screwed. And it'd be one thing to get convicted in a fair trial, but he's not getting a fair trial. So Track Golfer says that was a real First Amendment audit and they failed. That's actually a brilliant way to look at it. This was 100% a legit audit. This was a, pop quiz audit and they failed. Yes. Jim is saying, I have a theory that the Murdoch trial is just to bury all the corruption that was going on there. And they casually mentioned a police chief and judge in his office for cash. Yeah, there's so much going on here. And other people mentioned too, maybe this is like a catch-all. They're framing him up, getting rid of him, and he's kind of the scapegoat for everybody, absorbing all the damage. It might be. Kind of senses that, kind of feels that way. Paul Hack says, did you get a haircut? No, I trimmed this up today, but no, I get a haircut tomorrow. Go see my haircut lady tomorrow. She's going to trim me up, so it'll be good. Metal Matt says, look up print, shoot, repeat, HK slap. Yes. I love my HK slap. Yeah. Kyle Wood says, have you met or streamed with Steve Gosney? Yeah, I've been on with Steve a couple times. I love Steve. He's a very smart guy. I appreciate his output. I appreciate the fact he's got a lot of trial experience as a prosecutor, defense attorney, and does a lot of appellate work. He's actually, shoot, where is it? I got his book. I've been reading through it. It's actually got some it's got some tips in here and it's some interesting insights I think are helpful. So, yeah, I think I might try to work with him coming up if there's, a topic we can talk about. I think I may reach out to him. I've thought about this, about just he can kind of explain, how does really, Bronca says appeals are for losers. And I've mentioned before, when you're appealing, you're already behind the 8 ball, but just really explaining how it is to do defense appellate work. What it's like when you're doing it. Cause I've done appellate work. I do it. And I've argued in a court of appeals before a couple of times, but nowhere near he's done it. He's far more experienced at it. And I'd like to pick his brain about it. So yeah, that might be coming up soon. Just have to see if I can work that out with him. Alec Baldwin says, hey, do you have Bronca's number? I might have some work for him in the near future. Well, you've already been charged, so he won't take your case. And that's where you go sign up to lawselfdefense.com and become a premium member. That way you already have his help. Porcelain Thunder says, not a jury of his peers. Yeah, nobody in the box is a thieving millionaire. Yes. Demon's Wrath says, get the full Fash haircut. Nick will be jealous. My head doesn't look good in a drop fade. I've had a kind of like a haircut, like a drop fade. It doesn't suit me. Just I do like finger length. Like when I go in there, I tell them I get like a 2 on the sides, and then I get finger length on top plus a little extra. And that's the reason why. Because this is like 5 weeks out from my last haircut. I could probably get away with getting a haircut every 3 weeks. My hair grows that fast. Did I see the housekeeper on the trial today? No, I did not get the chance to see her. Um, they're saying Ghazi's on with legal devices right now. Oh, okay, cool. Um, Porcelain Thunder says we're the only UNC are the only law tubers with active court experience. That's not true at all. I mean, of the people that are out there, uh, I have I've practiced. I still do. I'm not Johnny Cochran or Fleet Bailey. Steve's probably got far more trial practice than I do. I know Peter Tragos, he's got a ton of trial experience and practice. Emily Baker, she doesn't practice anymore, but she definitely put in that work in LA. Runkle, even though it's in Canada, it's still trial experience. He does the work too. Who else? Barnes, he does a lot of federal stuff though, and he does a lot more civil, but still, hey, it counts. Um, Shoot, who else does? Attorney Tom. He does those big whale hunts, but hey man, that's still doing work. Nate did it for a while. I don't know how long he did it as a prosecutor, but I know he did it for a bit. Trying to think who else. That routinely is on. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else right this second, but there are some of us out there, so it's not just a couple of us. There's quite a few if you think about it. Salty Ball says reported the Ohio bar for my mustache not matching my beard. Well, that's about as relevant as the other bar grievance I had lately, so why not send it in? Nick Divs, did I see Steve's panel with Megan Kelly and Vinnie Politan regarding Murdoch? Politan is very pro-prosecutor, to put it in a way. That's because he was a prosecutor. He was a prosecutor in New Jersey, and that's all he did. He did that for a while, and then he went straight into the news. And he hasn't been in court in like I think probably 25 years or so. At least it looks like from what I read about him. But that's not uncommon. If you work as a prosecutor, you tend to be very pro prosecutor. I worked as a prosecutor for a little bit, but I'm not pro prosecutor, and I learned that from working in a prosecutor's offices for 2.5 years. It just ain't my bag. It ain't my style. Just I don't like how it's done. Certainly if I became the prosecutor, sure, but man, my office would look very fucking weird. You'd think it's part of a public defender's office half the time. So, but he's also, and I hate to say it like this, he's also a guy who has done the news and done, cable TV for so long. It's been bred into him to get that soundbite out and just to barf out kind of goofy shit at times. Because that's when he's been conditioned to do. He understands the game. Where Steve, on the other hand, is trying to give the real answer and it doesn't fit into the soundbite. So that's where I think there's an issue there as well. JC says Rob too. Yeah, Rob does practice. Yep, my bad. Forgot about Rob. But yes, he does as well. Salty Ball says we could shave his eyebrows. That happened to me once in college. That is not fun. And actually, it sucked because it was just one eyebrow. How much is a cut and how much do I tip? I think it's like $23 and I usually tip to 30. So usually like $7 or so. Lady who cuts my hair, Mary, does a phenomenal job. She's great at it. Diamonds and Henna says DUI guy. Yeah, exactly. DUI guy's great too. He's all practicing all the time. I know I've heard about him. He's in court like all the freaking time, which I kind of wish I could do because that'd be so much fun being in court all the time. Doing office work sucks. By Fran says Sean has a $70 haircut. Before I started doing this on here, my haircuts actually went to like great clips. So no, I've never had a $70 haircut. Oh. Oh yeah, James saying the lead attorney. Yep. Lead attorney is. Noel says Nick practiced for a bit. He did, but he doesn't practice anymore. That's why I'm just saying people who currently are practicing. That's the only distinction there. Say I'm sick of Murdoch 100%, as am I. Didn't Bronca practice at one point? I think he did very, very briefly, but for the most part, I don't think he has. Andrea Burkhardt does. Yeah, I just know she's not always on with like all of us, so I didn't really think to consider her part of that. Darcy says Attorney Tom is on the Zoo crypto. Yes, and I mentioned that when I talked about my Logan Paul video. Yes, he's part of the whole going after Logan Paul, and I hope they clean his ass out because he is scamming the shit out of everybody. Waking Bear says pooping is stressful. It can be, but if it's stressful, take like a shower and get warm and kind of relax. You shouldn't be stressing. So. John Tom says, all of us, aren't you fancy? Yes, fancy law tube. Yes, fancy law tubes. Yes. Salty Ball is saying, what happened to Rick Hogue? He's doing better. He is out of rehabilitation. And I put the update in the community tab because I mentioned he's kicking ass. He walked in the door of his house. That's awesome news. And it sounds like he, hasn't lost any mental capability. It sounds like he was very sarcastic and very witty when they were trying to work on rehabbing him and making sure, his speech and whatnot was going well. So nothing, the whole Eagle Bites thing aside, Rick Hogue, nothing but the best for him. He's got a family to take care of. He's still a young guy. I hope he crushes it. And, he walked into his house. I hope that he doesn't have to worry about that again ever. And I wish nothing but the best for him in that regard. So Legal Bite stuff is a different thing. Have you ever seen the original version of Heat LA Takedown? Yes, I did. It's neat, but they all have like, they all use like MP5s. Like, it's kind of weird. So it came out about a decade before Heat. It had two actors in both movies playing different roles. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So Kyle Wood saying, are there naturals in the practice of law? It seems to me there'd be a lot of case study and book learning, but what do you think? You have to learn those things, and the issue isn't, people learning the law. How well do you retain it? Because yes, you can't just remember everything, but you have to be able to remember stuff. You have to be able to think on your feet. people like to complain that the bar exam is not fair because you always get the chance to look stuff up. Yes and no. And why do I say that? Well, yes, you do get to look things up. But for example, if you came into my office and we were sitting down across from each other at my desk and you asked me a bunch of questions and I had to say, well, I need to look that up to every question you ask me, you think this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But if I can tell you, yes, I know this is correct. Here's the basics on X, Y, and Z. Your question's a little bit different. I'm going to need to do some research on that. Let me get back to you. You'd say, okay, well, that makes sense. Maybe I'm asking an esoteric issue. So that's, just knowing the law and learning it and retaining it, just like anything in life, any skill. As far as being in a courtroom, having that charisma, having that presence, I know you can see it, some attorneys, they don't do public speaking very well, and it's still rough for attorneys to do. There's the idea, can you project your voice? And that's, for example, that's one skill. I've never had an issue with that. And I never really understood the concept either. I remember in college when, we had to give presentations like, oh, you can project your voice. I know. I said, okay, cool. Thank you. I still have no idea. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I'm doing it. I'm just like, you're doing it. But you do it, and that's an important one. The ability to develop a rapport, the ability to tell a story, keep people engaged. Those are kind of the natural skills. Those are the intangibles. You can learn how to play. You can learn the New England Patriots playbook, but do you have the intangible skills, the skills you can't learn? Do you have the size, the speed? Do you have the intuition? Being in the right place at the right time. Being able to run fast, having that split second of reaction time, being able to process just a little quicker than anybody else. Some of those things that you don't have, not everybody can have and you can't develop. Certainly those help. But it's, when you're in a trial, those are critical because, as I've said before, this is sales. So for the Murdoch case, maybe not Murdoch's probably the best one to use as an example, but a typical criminal trial, it's a sale. I'm selling the story, and is the court going to buy it or the jury going to buy it? Well, who can sell the best story? Who can tell the best tale? Now, if you come in there all mopey like Eeyore, and yeah, you're not going to do a good job. But you might be better off working in an office setting then, where it's just here's doing transaction or litigation things where you don't go to court. And there are attorneys who flourish at that. But and you got to find your niche. Maybe labor law is your thing. When I was in law school, I loved labor law. I took the class. I got the highest grade, and when I took it, of everybody who was in the class, I loved it, and it's still something I think is super, super cool. Do I think the Section 7 of the National Labor Relations Act is an abomination, is a bunch of Bolshevik hogwash? Yes, it is. But what you can do with labor law is like a sandbox, and the way how you deal with if there's organizing going on, how can you combat it? How do you go about that? And how the warfare you can engage in. It's really cool, and all the different things you can do and can't do, and then how I researched all kinds of stuff on it. And I would have never have known that till I went to law school. And initially when I got out, I was kind of torn. Like maybe I wanted to go down that track. It didn't work out for me, but I think I would have been happy doing that. But it would have been different because you're not usually in court dealing with labor issues. A lot of that would just be negotiation and bargaining, and I'm not the best poker player, so I don't necessarily have that skill to the same level as other people. But I make up for it with, bluster and, trying to bullshit my way through things. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yes, Stabby says you heard it here. Sean doesn't want Rick to walk into his house again. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Truck Golfer says, where's Falling Down on your movie list? That's up there. I like it because it's like a video game. He levels up his weapons and skills. he starts out and eventually he gets to a bat, and then he's got an Uzi, and then he's got the rocket launcher. Carapace says repetition. Read your Kierkegaard. Sheriff Fuck says, say it with your chest. Oh. Garrett Pace says, call them the Pinkertons. No. Pinkertons were bad. Brent says we should watch the Tinsley Cross from this morning just so you can see him being argumentative. You know what? Let's watch that real quick, and we might wrap up with that tonight. Okay. Let's see. Law and Cock. Law and Cock. Let's see here. Oh, I actually typed in long cuck. That doesn't help. I actually typed in long crime. Let's see here. Oh. Where is it? Come on now. Crime. Murdoch trial. Okay, yeah, here we go. Day 13. All right, let's see if we can bring this up. All right, I think this is... Let's see where we're at here.
By November, I've given him a number, yes.
All right. And roughly what's that number?
That number, he was going to have to pay $10 million out of his pocket.
And
okay, so this is...
Any response to you?
Gentlemen, welcome back. Day number 15, State's case.
I don't care about the State's case, apparently the Cross.
The last objection was sustained. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, when I sustain an objection, that means you're to...
As well as about...
So the State's still going. When
Nope, to the...
Okay, here we go.
Is this difficult for you to be here today?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Defense may ask.
Thank you.
Mr. Barber.
Here we go.
Good morning, Mr. Tinsley.
Good morning.
Almost maybe just start asking a couple of questions that I think are just some things that we could...
Okay, that is that guy's got some impeccable taste. That tie and that whole suit and tie thing. Damn. Don't know if I've ever worn a suit and tie like that, but God, that looks good.
agree on before maybe getting to some other things. Was there any life insurance for Maggie or Paul?
I don't believe there was any life insurance on anybody, including Ellen.
And if this motions hearing, which was not just the motion to compel, it was other motions, correct? On June the 10th.
Yeah, there were some other motions.
And if that hearing had gone forward, at least for the motion to compel, this would have been another step in a process, right? In other words, I believe it was your previous testimony. I think it's fair to say that there wouldn't have been an explosion on June the 10th, that this would have been another step, but it wasn't the end point.
So what happens?
Is that correct, sir? Yes or no? Am I misstating your testimony? There wouldn't have been an explosion on June the 10th?
You're jumping around, so it's hard for me to follow.
I apologize.
Well, if you let me finish.
No,
Your Honor, I would like to ask the witness to be allowed to finish his answer to one of those questions, and I object to one.
If he was smart, this guy would withdraw his question, strike it, and start over. Because otherwise, yes, the Attorney General's right. He should have the right to answer the question. That was open-ended.
The question.
Pose one question.
Yes, Your Honor. Did you previously testify, I think that it's fair to say there wouldn't have been an explosion on June the 10th?
I'm sorry,
Yes
you
or
were
no?
looking down. I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm sorry, I was reading it. I think it's fair to say that there wouldn't have been an explosion on June the 10th. Quote. Did you testify, did those words come from that stand when you previously testified? Yes or no?
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. You looked down again, and I could not understand what you said.
I
Was there an explosion?
apologize for that. I'll hold it up. I'm just trying to read it accurately. I think it's fair to say that there wouldn't have been an explosion on June the 10th. Yes or no, was that your testimony previously? Just yes or no.
It's possible. You're trying to turn it into something it's not, but I probably said words to that effect.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
And a redirect.
You're asked.
Wow, okay, apparently you're that much of an asshole, they moved on. Oof. Okay. That's funny. I've had cases where I've seen and dealt with people who it's a yes or no question, and holy cow, it has been like pulling teeth. Sometimes because they don't understand, sometimes they're being intentionally combative and obtuse. I've never had to cross-examine an attorney, but yes, he's going to be even worse about it. So, yeah, Starchy said he's doing that on purpose. I couldn't see what you're saying. Like, are you deaf? You need to read my lips? I'll be like, you understand this? So the reason why, and you guys I think are upset about it, this guy is not relevant. This is more bullshit that's been piled on. I think they could have done far more to bring out the issue of, well, you've been screwed over. I mean, every person who's been pissed off with the Alec Murdoch or Paul Murdoch is a potential suspect. And I think I said this when I was on the stream yesterday. That's half the freaking county. So you have like thousands of potential people want these guys dead. Could even be this guy Tinsley too at some point. Pike saying they had Tinsley in a 404 in camera and he was super hostile to defense. Very, 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 very possible. That's interesting. So, Nick Dev says that he was eager to fight, but they made it very anticlimactic for him. Yeah, they did. Yep. I think that's very true. So, yeah, Bren, you were saying it was short. I'm like, you weren't joking about it being short, though. So, all right, guys. Well, that is it. I think we're going to wrap this up tonight early. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm actually going to try to get a hold of Kurt and see if we can do something special. I've got something. If we can do it, I think we'll have a fun time with. Brent says, Tinsley won those millions. Yeah, 50 million. The initial lawsuit of $50 million. He gets 30% of that off the top. You kidding me? That's like, $16, $17 million he's looking at. I'd be looking for that too. That's the whale of a lifetime. That's the hunt of a lifetime right there. That's a score. You're buying a yacht with that kind of money because even when you pay taxes on it, you still got, a cool couple mil left. And that guy he's taken down on big cases like that all the time. But that's a massive one. Even at $10 million, he gets 3. That's a lot. By Francis, that's a lot of coke. It's a lot of coke. So, Jim says, I thought you. Oh, you know what? We'll cover that tomorrow, Jim. The cops kicking the surrendering guy. Because I saw what Donut was talking about. I saw his, and I think that is such a bullshit. I get it that the guy shot at you, but you don't get to act like fucking emotionally damaged assholes the whole time. The guy surrendered. That's it. The guy's cuffed and he moves and you kick him. Well, we don't know where the gun's at. Was he going to magically jump his cuffs and shoot you? I mean, yes, that whole thing was bullshit. But we'll cover that because I don't like, you don't get to lash out. Just go like, oh my God, it's scared. You shouldn't be a cop. You're supposed to act with restraint. And we don't like people running around. Oh, you're cops, so you get to act like part of a lynch mob. No. If you can't handle that shit, go hang up your stuff and go sell cookies. But no, we'll cover that because I don't like how they did it. But we'll talk about that one tomorrow. Dial is saying Donut was a former cop. That's why. Yeah, I did not see. Yeah, it's part of it. This is who we are. Says the gun was on the counter too in plain sight. Well, yeah, but that's they're all. They gotta extract their justice at this point, beating the shit out of them. Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Somebody's like, hey, it's right behind you. They're not listening. They don't really care. They're just screaming it so they can look like they have an excuse to beat the shit out of them. So Salty Ball says, did you see the cop that punched the lady here in Ohio? I'm a mile from that. I mean, cops punch a lot of people, so you might need to send me some information on that one. Okay, stop, Paul. You trolling me? You trolling me right now, bro? Are you trolling me right now? He used the Galil in the last shootout. Oh my God. All right. We're not ending. Why? Because my girlfriend's out there. Honey, come to bed. No, baby. Someone on the internet's wrong, and I have to prove it. Oh God. Do. All right, hold on. Where is it at? Where is it? All right, hold on here. I'm trying to get to that point so we don't get copy struck here. 'Cause I don't really need that. I don't need that on my soul. Hold on. We're trying to get to that point. All right. Here we go, Paul. Here we go. All right, because apparently you think you know better. We're gonna. All right, here we go. Bam! What is that right there? What is that right meow? That is a foul. Using a foul in the armored car robbery right at the beginning. That's a foul. If you're a troll, good for you. If not, now you learned something today, son. Salty says he just snaps and punches her. Truck Albert says, get to Phoenix so we can play golf and drink some claws. Be nice. I haven't been out to Arizona before. I'll have to work on that. This is who we are. This is the Jew rifle. Are we baited? Jim's. Fuck you, Jim. I swear to God, I will ban all of you. I swear to God. Swear to God. Adam A says, "Where's the stupid foul handle?" Not all of them had it. And he could have cut that one off, but I don't think the paratrooper models had the carry handle. So, all right, guys. Well, I know we just got all gun spurgy, so that was great. So that is people. You know, they built my own personal hell. I realize at times. So, that is it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody who stuck around. If you guys are here and you like it, please give me a thumbs up down below. That would help. If you guys are new, subscribe. Certainly, I'd appreciate that. I appreciate your support. Thank you for viewing here. If you guys have been in the comments, thank you so much. I appreciate all of that. And super chats as well. Thank you so much, you guys. And yes, the Rumble stuff is fixed. We will be going back on Rumble all the time now. And wait, don't go. What? Why? What's wrong? What's up? Unless this is a troll too. Don't tell me this is a troll right now. Did I know that Heat and Thief were based on the same Chicago crew? Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All right. All right, guys. So we are done. And that is it for us tonight. So I will see you guys tomorrow if I can work out the thing with Kurt. I'm really hoping I can do this because it'll be great. And I plan on both of us getting rip roaring drunk. I think it'll be very fun. So, guys, remember, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Unless you're Paul and you're guilty being a troll. Bye, everybody.